Today on MHK All Day, a look how Manhattan celebrated Black History Month and the renovations to the historic Douglas Center.
And later on in the show, we will meet with the Robotics Club. All this and more coming up here on MHK All Day.
Good morning and welcome to MHK All Day. I'm Monica Diaz.
And I'm Molly Hackett. Later on in the show, we will meet up with the Robotics Club with Clubbin' with the Cats.
But first, we'll send it to our News in 90 Seconds, a special Black History Month edition.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to News in 90. I'm Miriam Chamberlain. Pixar has done it again. Disney is set to introduce its first self-identifying LGBTQ character in upcoming film Onward, a new fantasy film about young elves. Officer Spectre is a Cyclops cop voiced by Master of None actress and writer Lena Waithe. Unlike previous Pixar characters suspected of being LGBTQ by viewers, Waithe's characters will clearly state that she's in a lesbian relationship. Onward is set to hit a theater near you on March 6th. For years, minorities have desired to work in professional environment had to conform to the norm of wearing their hairstyles that was considered acceptable by the non-minority coworkers. Last year, the state of California became the first to pass the Crown Act, a law that prohibits discrimination based on hairstyles as well as hair texture. Kansas and 23 additional states are considering the Crown Act and have either pre-filed, filed, or formally stated an intent to introduce their own anti-hair discrimination bills. People are encouraged to join the movement to end racial hair discrimination by signing the petition to urge legislators to vote yes on the Crown Act. Katherine Johnson, a pathbreaker for the African-American woman in the field of spaceflight at NASA during the 1960s, died this past Monday, February 24th. Ms. Johnson went on to develop equations that helped NASA send astronauts into the orbit and later to the moon. Her research was acknowledged in the 2015 film Hidden Figures, starring Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe. She was 101 years old. That's your News in 90. I'm Miriam Chamberlain for MHK All Day.
National Black History Month has its origins in 1926, when historian Carter G. Woodson made the second week of February Black History Week. Then in the 70s, President Ford officially recognized Black History Month, calling upon the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. The Black Student Union at K-State celebrated Black History Month with events ranging from movie screenings, a soul cafe, and keynote speaker Kevin Richardson. Kevin Richardson was one of the exonerated Central Park Five. In 1989, 14-year-old Kevin Richardson was arrested with 4 others for a crime they did not commit. He was sentenced 5 to 10 years. The conviction was reversed and Richardson was exonerated in 2002.
I can remember just wanting to get the nightmare over with. Just wanted to go home. And after days and hours of being interrogated, non-stop, first violating our rights, not using the bathroom, not getting a drink of water, not getting food, not changing our clothes. It forced you to do things.
We'll hear from BSU leader Brandon Clark later on in the show. In light of Black History Month this past week, Dawson Wagner got to sit down with David Baker at the Douglas Center for a walk back through time and look into the future of the renovations for the rec center.
The Douglas Community Center, the best place to go together. Located on 9th and Yuma Street, this neighborhood has an important story that David Baker tells us about in the light of February being Black History Month.
When I grew up, Yuma Street was the hub of the African American community. It was our main street, and most African American, we did not live past Yuma Street going north, which is the next block over, which is Colorado. And there were very, very few people that lived on Colorado. So the south side of Manhattan was primarily, African American, as I grew up, and that stayed pretty much that way until 1987. I left town in '84 and moved to Oklahoma. But I believe in 1987 is when they put in Fort Riley Boulevard. And once the Fort Riley Boulevard went in, urban renewal came in, bought up many of the homes. People passed away or left town, and that was the beginning of really the beginning of the change of the south side of Manhattan. And I came back in 2011 as a director here at Douglas Center. I grew up here in this facility. Like I said, it was the hub of the black community in those days. And so today it's become truly a recreation center for the whole community. And so we've been able to create that environment here, and so that was pretty much my goal when I came back here, because I saw that there was a need for that. And the same thing goes with seniors. If you think about what seniors are doing actively in this community, it's not a lot. And when we started pickleball here about 6 years ago, I mean, there was just a handful of people playing, and now pickleball is the fastest growing senior sport in Manhattan.
We did go to a number of commission meetings in which the pickleball group presented their ideas and our wishes, of course. We had hoped for maybe more than 2 pickleball courts over there, but we'll do with 2.
And so we've been able to create some things, and my goal has always been do something to make somebody else's life better if you can. And that's kind of what we've been able to do here at the Douglas Center.
What an opportunity to sit down with David Baker and dive in to figure out exactly what the history behind Yuma Street is and what all the changes will be like for the new renovations of the Douglas Center for 2020. They'll be having a groundbreaking ceremony next week on Wednesday, March 4th. From Manhattan, I'm Dawson Wagner for MHK All Day.
The renovations for the Douglas Center will be breaking ground at 4 p.m. on Wednesday of next week. Stay with us as we have dinner and a date plans for the zoo, along with the recipe of the week from our wellness team, a ketogenic no oats bowl.
I email my professors, I get an answer. They're participating in the discussion boards. You just feel really connected, and that was a unique experience for me. I'm not new to distance programs. I'm a military wife. Been to 6 different colleges in 4 different states, so I've definitely taken some online classes, and K-State does it very differently, and they pull it off beautifully. I don't know how, but I'm just glad.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
I had taken online classes before, but Kansas State was really great because it was so organized, and like all the teachers and professors were so helpful, and they just went beyond to help me to get the degree that I was looking for.
H1 minus H2 plus B1 squared minus B2 squared all over 2.
Are you ready?
Welcome back to MHK All Day. As Manhattan is gearing up for the self-made holiday, Fake Patty's Day, emergency services want to re-acknowledge the amnesty law in place in Kansas. Intoxicated minors in Kansas are able to call 911 to seek medical help for themselves or another individual without facing prosecution for illicit drinking. The law was signed by Sam Brown back in 2016 and was modeled after Good Samaritan laws. Individuals seeking amnesty from prosecution in cases involving underage drinking are required to call 911 and must display continuous cooperations with first responders and police throughout the case. They must also remain on the scene.
Our If there is somebody who is underage who has consumed alcohol, who is in need of immediate medical attention, that person can seek that medical attention and not have to worry about getting in trouble for drinking underage. They need to worry about getting themselves help or getting a friend help.
On MHK All Day, focuses on Club of the Week that deals with the design, construction, and operation of robots.
Kansas State University has over 500 student clubs and organizations. The robotics competition team is one of them. A BattleBots team, Mercury team, and Micro Mouse team compose the club.
Robots like this one right here are created by K-State students on the robotics team to compete in Mercury competitions.
BattleBots are structured to destroy competitors in tournaments trying to make it to the top in one piece. The Mercury team creates robots that attempt to navigate an obstacle course on a simulated foreign planet. The Micro Mouse team creates robots that are able to autonomously navigate a maze. Dylan Statz, a senior in computer engineering and the robotics club president, describes the atmosphere of the club.
So the first thing I'd like to say is that the robotics competition team creates a really good working environment for people to come together and work on hobbies that they love, build a lot of great friendships and different things like that as we go through the club. In addition to building those friendships, we also really strive to help promote our members' careers, such as events of telling them how to, market themselves at career fairs and get a job, hopefully working on robotics.
Abby Valentine, a senior in mechanical engineering, started an all-girls robotic team back when she was in high school. She describes what it's like from going to an all-girls school to what she claims now as an all-guys school.
We started an all-girls team, and so coming here, I told everyone I came from an all-girls school to an all-guys school, because everyone here isn't guys, but no one's treated me awful. It's been great and fun. Everyone listens to me, and even the main idea for part on a robot last year that picked up ping pong balls, that was my idea, and people loved it and went with it. So you're really you still get to hear your voice and it's being heard, and I don't feel left out at all. And I'm so used to working with guys at this point that I go with it, but it's been really cool.
Although the robotics competition team is within the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, all majors are welcome. Jeffrey Payne, a senior in chemical engineering, explains why you should join, even if you're outside of the discipline.
Even if you're not in the discipline of the club, I think it's great to get involved with that club because you'll learn a lot of things about what you like, and maybe it won't align with necessarily your major.
If you're interested in joining, the club meets every Thursday at 6 p.m. in the basement of Rathbone in room 0044. In Manhattan, I'm Stephanie Nutt, MHK All Day.
Looking for a unique spot for dinner and a date? I went to the Sunset Zoo to find out more about this hidden gem and learn about a new change they're implementing that has the community feeling at odds with the Manhattan Zoo. As the weather begins to warm up, couples are finding the zoo to be a fun date spot. The zoo is a place for all ages to enjoy and allows couples a time to submerge themselves in an outdoor experience while spending quality time together. Emily Olchin is a student in the area and enjoyed her date at the zoo.
I really enjoyed my day at the zoo because me and my boyfriend got a chance to talk and spend some quality time together walking around the park and see all the exotic animals that were really fun to see. It's important to have time with your significant other out of your element because it gets a chance for you guys to get to know each other better, and you're outside your comfort zone, so you get to learn more about what they enjoy and what maybe they don't enjoy either.
Melissa Kirkwood is the marketing and development specialist at Sunset Zoo and says this is a place for all couples.
Maybe it's a first date or a 100th date, we encourage you to come for that unique experience, and it's something you can do outdoors, get a chance to know who you're with and be able to ask. We have a lot of families that ask questions about our animals while they are visiting.
Although a zoo date may be fun, families may face some challenges.
If the date at the zoo is for you, be prepared to bring the kids the entire way as well. Starting this May, the zoo's preschool program will be closing.
Jared Bigsby is the curator of education at the Sunset Zoo and said it was a tough decision to close the preschool program. The program has been open since 2013 and will close this May.
It's a tough decision. It was a tough decision for the zoo. It was also a tough decision for the parents, and And we've built great relationships with the parents, and it's tough, and it still is tough. We really wish that we could kind of continue and provide services with them, and we'll be looking over the summer to see what our new early childhood initiatives will be.
Bigsby says, despite this ending, there are still opportunities for children.
Now, what we offer as far as like registration-based programs that we set up, right now the primary one is our adventure camp when school is out of session. So for spring break or other days off, then we offer a day camp. We actually partner with the Flint Hills Discovery Center, so in the springtime right now we offer the adventure camp for kids that are in kindergarten through 2nd grade.
With the preschool program ending, the zoo will still offer other alternatives. If you are going to the zoo as a couple or as a family, there are many options. In Manhattan, Monica Diaz, MHK All Day. The zoo has limited hours for the winter months, but will have more availability as spring approaches.
Up next in sports and wellness, but stay tuned into how New Oliver Brown Elementary School's mascot is in the hands of 4th through 6th graders.
Today I'm going to be making a keto porridge. It's basically an
H1 minus H2 plus B1 squared minus B2 squared all over 2.
Fans, are you ready?
I email my professors, I get an answer. They're participating in the discussion boards. You just feel really connected, and that was a unique experience for me. I'm not new to distance programs. I'm a military wife. Been to 6 different colleges in 4 different states, so I've definitely taken some online classes, and K-State does it very differently, and they pull it off beautifully. I don't know how, but I'm just glad.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our pool.
I had taken online classes before, but Kansas State was really great because it was so organized, and like all the teachers and professors were so helpful, and they just went beyond to help me to get the degree that I was looking for.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. I'm Daisy Hagedorn. If you're looking to cut back on carbs, we have just the recipe for you. Amelia Andrews taste tested a keto dish and showed us the steps to make it.
Today I'm going to be making a keto porridge. It's basically an oatmeal without the oats. It's perfect for people who are gluten-free, on the ketogenic diet, or just trying to cut out carbs and sugar in general. So let's go get started. So I topped mine with some fresh blackberries, some more unsweetened shredded coconut, and then some mixed nuts. Let's give it a try. Very, very healthy. In Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Amelia Andrews with MHK All Day.
Well, that looks delicious, but I think I'll just stick with regular oatmeal. Today in sports, we'll be looking at students preparing for the cold weather and long line for the big game on Saturday and on Saturday. Kansas State men's basketball is preparing for their second Sunflower Showdown here in Manhattan, while the Cats prepare for the huge game. Students are preparing for the huge line. With cold and time against them, students bring anything to keep them warm and busy. During his sophomore year, Paul Cruzy waited in line for hours only to end up as a meme on Twitter. I got a chance to catch up with Paul to ask him about his experiences waiting in line, and he said he's excited to do it again.
Actually a really fun time because it was really cold, but at the same time we prepared ahead of time. We bought some hot hands, bought some card games to play, and it was just a pretty good time just sitting out there with friends. And even if we didn't win the game, I'd say it was still just really fun for the experience. Pat Bosco made it a lot better. He brought us some wings in line. So, I don't know, overall I'd say it was definitely a good experience and I'd do it again.
While Paul doesn't plan on waiting in line this year, Tanner Driggers does. Reporter Stephanie Nutt is live with Tanner, who wants to give some inside tips on how to battle through the cold and long wait. Stephanie?
Thanks, Stacy. I'm here at Bramlage Coliseum, where the Sunflower Showdown will take place tomorrow between KU and K-State. The game will take place at 12:30. I'm here with Tanner, a K-State student who plans on attending the game. Tanner, can you tell us what time you plan on getting here tomorrow to secure a seat?
Yeah, so since the game starts at 12:30 and the gates don't open until 6, they don't let anybody in until then, I'll probably be here between 9 and 10, right around there.
All right. I see you have some things with you. Can you tell us what you have?
Yeah, so I have one of the best card games ever made, Munchkins, here, that we like to play while we're waiting outside in line. Another thing I have is the trusty blanket, keeps you warm. One thing here, right here, these hand warmers come in very handy when we're out in the cold, standing out there. So.
Yeah, I'm sure when you're outside, you'll be bundled up with your coat and hat,
Yeah,
scarf and gloves, and all that stuff. So last Sunflower Showdown, there was a brawl at the end. Can you tell us what you thought about that?
Yeah, it was kind of an unfortunate dealing. It probably should not have happened, but you know, it was kind of entertaining in the way that there were some memes made about it. But other than that, it shouldn't have happened. So.
For tomorrow's Sunflower Showdown, what do you expect?
Hopefully it'll be a good game. Hopefully there's no brawl like there was last time. But yeah, hopefully it's very entertaining and hopefully we get the win.
Yeah. If we do get the win, can you tell us how you'll celebrate?
Well, hopefully it'd be like last year when we all went onto the floor and that was, you know, pretty fun and everything, although it did get out of control a little bit, but that's okay.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Daisy.
Well, bouncing off that, luckily there's one less stool in Bramlage. Students are allowed to get in no earlier than 6 a.m. for the Sunflower Throwdown Showdown in the Octagon of Doom. Tip-off is set for 12:30 and will be broadcasted on CBS Sports. Shortly after the Sunflower Showdown, though, the Big 12 tournament will start at the Sprint Center in Kansas City. The tournament starts Wednesday, March 11th, and the championship game is set for Saturday, March 14th. Stay tuned to hear the plans for the weekend and a look at weather.
H1 minus H2 plus V1 squared minus V2 squared all over 2.
Fans, are you ready?
I email my professors, I get an answer. They're participating in the discussion boards. You just feel really connected, and that was a unique experience for me. I'm not new to distance programs. I'm a military wife. Been to 6 different colleges in 4 different states, so I've definitely taken some online classes, and K-State does it very differently, and they pull it off beautifully. I don't know how, but I'm just glad.
Welcome to K-State. We're so excited all of you came to visit us here on campus. We're going to be starting our tour here in front of Anderson Hall, which is our administrative building and kind of our iconic building on campus. It houses our president's office and our vice president for student life. All right, let's get started. We're going to be going to the Union next. It houses our whole...
I had taken online classes before, but Kansas State was really great because it was so organized and like all the teachers and professors were so helpful, and they just went beyond to help me to get the degree that I was looking for.
This past weekend, the Black Student Union Big 12 Conference took place at the University of Oklahoma, where K-State's BSU won Most Outstanding Council for the 12th year in a row. BSU is led by Brandon Clark, who is a member of BSU, the former president, advisor, and is now the program coordinator for multicultural student organizations. We have Brandon Clark in the studio today to give us an insight on what his years of experience with BSU has gained him.
Hi, Mr. Clark, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
All right, so my first question is, you are an alumni of K-State, so could you tell me, have the issues Black students on campus face changed since you were at school?
I think they've changed a little bit as we have alumni come back and do our Black alumni reunion. They talk about a lot of the progress and some of the changes that they've seen that we've been able to make here at K-State. Yet they also talk about, unfortunately, that some of the same issues that many of our students face today, they were facing when they went here to K-State in the 70s and 80s. And so I think there has been some progress made, but we still have a long way to go in terms of making K-State feel more open and inclusive of all of the students that go here.
All right, so what is something that you would hope for in the future of the Black Student Union? I know that you guys have made some progress over the years with some of your programs.
Sure. Well, I think something that I'm happy and excited about, not just for our Black students, but for all of our multicultural students here on campus, is that we'll soon be having the Morris Family Multicultural Student Center, which will be opening here in the fall, about November of 2020. Something that our Black Student Unions fought very hard for, along with other multicultural students as well. But them being able to have that sense of belonging in a place that they can call their home here on campus, where they can do their programming, their meetings, their plannings. The Multicultural Center, I think, is going to help advance our ability to serve all of our multicultural students even more. Right now, we're in the midst of February doing Black History Month, and I'm really excited about all the programs and functions we've done with Black History Month as well. So those are some of the things that having a Black History Month, but also looking toward the future of having a multicultural center are just a few of the examples that I have that I'm excited for our Black students in the future here at K-State.
All right, and thank you so much for coming into Mr. Clark. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Brandon. In 2017, voters in Manhattan approved a 0.25 quality of life sales tax to fund new indoor creative centers. This is something new in the Manhattan area. Those funds are now making their impact as construction is being scheduled to begin at Anthony and Eisenhower middle schools.